So the Indiana Fever cut Bree Hall and Jillian Aline from the roster, Rob. Who's going to get cut next? Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
So, hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do set the notification bell when you do. We're going for 7,000 subscribers, and we need your help. Join us for Caitlin Clark's crossover every Monday and Thursday, 6 to 7, 5:30 to 6:30 Eastern Time, respectively, except for major holidays. And it's like a sports reporters type forum. We have guest podcasters, and it's all sorts of cool stuff. Rob, this is no surprise. I never thought Bree Hall was going to make the team, and I never thought Jillian Aline was going to make the team because there was no indication to me she was going to be better than Michaela Timpson, who plays a similar position, and they're very high on. So this was no surprise. They got caught, and I think they cut them early to give them a chance to get picked up on other teams, Rob. People are wondering why they did it so early.
They're going to get picked up by any other team because of the 12-player limit on the teams. The WNBA, this draft, it's a joke. So you get drafted, and you have a practice and 2 games to prove yourself, but then in those 2 games, you might not even get to play. So what was the sense of me being drafted?
I don't know.
What is this?
You can't take the draft picks away. You at least got to give them the 3 rounds of the draft pick. But I think, Rob, the problem is that traditionally what I've found out is that only about 1/3 of the players make the team. They get drafted. And that's basically the first round picks. Everyone else after that usually doesn't make the team.
And that's why the Fever did that. That's why they said, oh, we don't care about our first round because this round is weak, and this player, if I draft him, probably won't even make the team. So why should I waste my time? I can get in these players who's going to help us better improve our team.
Right. It's interesting because Michaela Timpson was rated to go a little higher than 18th. People thought she might go as high as 12th, and she was available at 18th. So I'm wondering if the Fever had a first-round pick this year, who they would have picked at the 8th position. Would have been someone besides Michaela Timpson or not, and they just got lucky, or they were going to choose her all along if they had a first-round pick. Mm-hmm. So that's interesting. But she wasn't an All-American, so she wasn't high up on the list. But I'm told that she's kind of like a late developer. She started playing a little later. I heard that. And then maybe that's why they could see her athletic ability. But she's going to make the team, I believe. And that's why Jillian Aline got cut, because they're saying, yeah, you're making the team. Now it's a question of who's the other player they're going to add. And for the 12th player, once they have room, which they don't initially. And I explained the other day in another video, you got 4 people with guaranteed contracts. And then you got another 6 that have unguaranteed. Then you have another 6 players, including Brianna Turner, who have unprotected guaranteed contracts. I'm going to eliminate the other 9 people because they're all going to make the team. Brianna Turner is the only one that could possibly get cut. And that's because she plays the same position as Michaela Timpson, which means they would add a guard then. Someone like Jaylene Brown may make the team. I don't know. So we'll find out. But I have no idea what's going to happen. All I know is that this is no surprise that Bree Hall, people were saying Bree Hall was going to be added to the team and they were going to trade Lexi Hall, which I go, she hasn't established herself in the WNBA yet. But is Lexi Hall? Yeah, the amount of money and difference in the salaries wasn't going to be that great, Rob. That's kind of silly.
Yeah, it's not just the Fever. It's a sad part for the WNBA with these draftees and these young players coming in. And then they're gone. And they need something. They have to change it where these players can go somewhere, hopefully not over to Europe, but just develop where they can play and show their talent. But, that's WNBA. It's a lot different.
There's 2 options, Rob. In a developmental league, which I don't know, couldn't get much revenue, so I'm not sure how they can support that. Or they could have 2 players like on a practice squad like they do in the NFL. They could do that and keep those players, and they could practice with the team, and that way they can develop as a player.
Right. I think the developmental league makes sense because, how else are you going to know how these players are they're, like you said, there might be late bloomers, and there's injuries that go on during the league, of course, so you have somebody to call up.
Yeah, it's pretty far down the future because you still have to support that league. So we'll see. What do you say? I think allowing 2 players to practice with the team that aren't on the roster and give them, maybe increase the salary cap and allow them to give them a small salary to be on the practice squad. That's what they do in the NFL. So that might work. Mm-hmm. But, there's not many spots. I don't know. there's going to have 2 new expansion teams next year, so it won't be as much of a factor next year. You're going to have 2 new teams. That's a lot. That's 3 new teams in 2 years. So we'll see what happens. But I'm not surprised by these cuts. I don't think anybody else was surprised except for the Bree Hall fans who thought she was better than she was. She's not that good an offensive player. She's a very solid defensive player, but she wasn't like, locked down completely defensive player. Right. So you could see that these 2 players did not get playing time in the first exhibition game, which was kind of like, okay, what does this mean? I think that means that they didn't shine as much in practice as the other players, or else they would have gotten playing time in the first exhibition game. So this didn't surprise anybody. So we'll see what happens. They have to have the roster turned in by 5 o'clock, I believe, on May 15th, which is the day before the regular season starts. The Fever obviously doesn't start on the 16th. They don't start to the 17th against the Sky, which I just want to remind you that we're going to go live for that. We're going to go live for every game that the Indiana Fever are playing, provided it's on TV. Right now, there are 41 out of 44 games. It may change a little bit. 1 or 2 games may get picked up by a network, but right now there's 41 out of 44 games. And we're going to go live for that, and I'll do every one that I can. So just as a reminder, they only have room for 1 player because they have $112,000. They got to pay that player at least $69,000. That's going to give them $43,000 left over, which they can save and add a player about a third of the way through the season because they're allowed to prorate their salary. So it would only take $43,000 to do that, or $43,000 against the cap, because they've already played a certain number of games they don't have to get paid for. So they will add a 12th player, and we don't know if it's going to be one of the players they cut or if they're going to pick up someone else that maybe got waived by another team. That's a possibility. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Right.
Do you agree with me that Makayla Timpson looks like she's going to make the team?
Oh, she definitely will. She looks well. She runs the court well, and she plays good defense. Just got to be a little stronger on the inside, going up for the shot, powered up a little stronger, but she's fine.
And she's got those long arms that they like in good size. So she's very athletic. So the only question is who's going to be the 12th player eventually, and is there any chance they would waive Brianna Turner, which I doubt it, Rob, because of her background in terms of a great defensive player, and she's 28 in her prime. That's hard for them to give her up. And they chose her for a reason. They knew they had limitations on roster spots and salary caps when they signed her. So I think she's still going to make the team, even though she hasn't looked that great in the 2 exhibition games. We'll see. There's another exhibition game on Saturday right now that's against Atlanta, who's supposed to be like an average team for this year. That's the projection for Atlanta. So it's a better test than the Brazilian team, or a better test than the first game they had against the Mystics, who aren't that good a team, and Caitlin Clark didn't play. So maybe we'll find out more from this next exhibition game that we found out from the other 2, which we didn't find out very much at all. And we'll see how they look in that particular game, because at least that's a decent team, Atlanta. And then after that, that's their last game. And then they start on May 17th against Chicago Sky and Angel Reese. We'll see.
Dun, dun, dun.
We'll see what happens with that game and that rating, and what I think they're going to crush the Sky, Rob. I think they clearly have a better team than the Sky, and so we'll find out. They lost Kennedy Carter, so we'll find out, and that'd be a first chance to see Haley Van Lith play. All right, so let us know what you think of this video. If you like this video, hit the like button, and feel free to share it with your family, friends, and acquaintances. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do, and make Rob happy. Get us up to 7,000 subscribers. And if you want, you can donate to this channel with super chats and super things down below. There's a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.